is freaking good, y'all. I hope everyone's well. Today is an official rest day. Saturday and Sunday, usually my rest days, Monday through Friday, training. But for today, we haven't had pretty much anything in the recovery zone, massage, cold plunge, you name it. Pretty much nothing like that. But changing it up just a little bit. So we're outside here, just in my backyard. We're gonna do a little bit of meditation. But first, we're gonna pose down. So we are heading into a health phase. And with this health phase, man, it's technically the second week, but it's the first week of exponential amount of carbs. I mean, for example, I for my second meal, I just had friggin' 150 grams of carbs in one meal. And I have 5 solid food meals throughout the day, and then tomorrow it'll be 6, but one of those is just a post-workout shake. So now, man, I think the name of the game is just gratitude. That's it. Just being grateful for every step of the way. I mean, I was reading this book, Tim Ferriss, Tools of Titans, and he had this author that he was interviewing, and he put an excerpt from his essay in there, and the essay pretty much sums up getting out of, quote unquote, being busy to just live life idly, just to chill. So he was basically saying that, being busy sometimes it's a good thing, right? You have your seasons where, certain things need to get done, and you have no choice but to be busy in order to get those things done. But he was saying it becomes an issue when being busy, or quote unquote being busy, becomes a thing of more of an ego boost than anything. When, one of your friends hits you up and you reply, "Oh, yeah, I wish I could, but man, it's just so busy." Or, all right, cool. Then how about next week? "Oh, yeah. I mean, I just got to get all this work done. I've just been so busy lately." So that it's kind of like a signal of, I'm important. People depend on me, and I'm not saying they don't, but when your life revolves around just being busy for the sake of being busy so that you can boost your ego, or just, I don't know, seem impressive to people, that's when it becomes an issue. And so he was basically saying that the greatest founders of our time, or let me rephrase that, people who have come to the greatest revelations came to those revelations not when they were, grinding it out, waking up at 4 a.m., working all hours of the day. They found it when they were literally just chilling, when they were sitting idly by, just relaxing. That's when they came to their greatest revelations. A couple examples come to mind. So, first one, Mr. Newton, Isaac Newton. He, when he discovered gravity, the whole story of the apple falling from the tree, he was just chilling. He wasn't working on anything in particular. He was literally taking a break from his work and just chilling by a tree. Apple fell, and he was relaxed enough, or in that right mindset of just, letting things come to him. I mean, he wasn't even thinking about it. And he discovered gravity, or at least, how it works. So, second example, Eureka. I don't know if it was the name of the dude. You can look it up. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but in the excerpt of the essay, he said when he had that eureka moment, he was literally just chilling in a bathtub, just taking a bath. And the dude comes to full-on eureka moment. And that's where the saying comes from. So those are just a couple examples, but it's the same thing. I mean, I think I heard there's like Winston Churchill. Even though he's obsessed with numbers and, making these great investments, most of the time, he's probably just chilling. He's taking walks on the beach, just doing his thing, just relaxing. And he's one of the greatest investors of all time. So, that being said, having time to just be idle, so to speak, or to just relax and to just chill, those are some of the most vital times of our lives. So that's a good reason why I love meditation, because I'm constantly practicing that sense of just being in the moment and not expecting anything. So that being said, let's get some posing in. I'm feeling good. I think I've had like 200 to 300 grams of carbs already today, and I've only had 3 meals. So let's get this evening posing session underway. Alright, that wraps it up for today's little mini vlog. Man, I'm gonna get a nice 20-minute meditation in right now. And before I do, one quick thing. Man, I knew I had something else. So, I guess a new thought that I've been having as far as the relationship between physical strength building and mental strength building is, with physical strength building, you have these periods of extreme strenuous activity. weightlifting or cardio. Those are the sessions where you're breaking down the muscle tissue. The nutrition, the sleep, and the stress management, those are when you're building the muscle tissue back up and the other tissues. With mental strength training, when you're doing any heavy cognitive task, reading, writing, even having a conversation with somebody, those are the tasks where you're using a lot of cell activity. You're having to concentrate and use your mental faculties, like learning, concentration, memory, all these different things. Now, when we're doing meditation, this is when you have these moments of extreme rest for your thinking process. So, when I'm doing my meditations, my goal is to transcend thought. It's not to think my way into the meditation. All I'm doing is just bringing my mind back to a mantra on the inhale and a mantra on the exhale. And both of these mantras have no meaning whatsoever. And there's a point to that. You don't want these mantras to be tied to any meaning, because if they're tied to a meaning, then it's just going to remind you of other things, and then you'll accentuate the thought process. So with meditation, when you're not thinking or you're transcending thought, this is your time to give your mental faculties the rest they need. And when you give your mental faculties the rest they need, for example, learning, memory, concentration, they come back better than ever because they've had that time to rest. And sleep is a huge promoter of this, and it's a huge resource for this kind of rest. But for normal, everyday function for your mental process, meditation is hands down the greatest resource for me for everyday rest and for non-thinking in general. So I don't know if that made sense to anyone, but moral of the story, with strength training, in order to build back muscle tissue, you need to rest. With thinking in general, you need to rest in order to help it grow. So that's where non-thinking from meditation comes in. So if you're thinking about trying meditation, I highly suggest looking up step-by-step guide on transcendental meditation. Just my 2 cents. That may work for you. Maybe a mantra meditation will work for you. Maybe a body scan meditation will work for you. Whatever works for you, that freaking stupendous. I love it. But at the end of the day, our mind needs the rest just like our body does. Peace out, my friends.